Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special Summer Do We Really Know Them series. And my name is Omar, and we're excited today to have a brand new guest who's never been on the show, and he has never been in broadcasting, and this is the first time his debut. So I'm excited to have him. Let's go ahead and bring on in a second. But first of all, he is an engineer. He studied at Arizona State and he became a real estate investor. And we're going to talk about his story and why he decided to go that way. And so he's building multi-family homes and senior living projects, different companies he did. And so that's amazing. And let's go ahead and let's bring in Ahab here. And 3, 2, 1. Hopefully this works. Let's bring him on the studio. Welcome. Peace be to you. And how are you, Ahab? Welcome.
Good, good. Hey, appreciate you for having me on, Omar. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, definitely. My pleasure. This is the first time you're doing something like this, and I'm excited to have you and promote you here. I'm
Oh,
excited.
man. I
All right.
appreciate you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And what are we having in store? I'm not sure what to expect, but God willing, it's something fruitful.
Amazing, amazing. How was your day, by the way? How's your day going so far? Pretty good?
It's going pretty good, man. Yeah, awesome day here with the team in the office, and every day we're just looking to get 1% better.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, tell us about that. So, you did engineering. Uh, First of all, tell us why did you do engineering, and then we'll get into how you changed in there. So, what made you want to get into engineering? That's my background too. So,
Yeah, you're a civil engineer, right?
exactly. Well, until you get your PE, you're not. But yes, technically, yeah.
So I guess we have something in common. Um,
Yes, exactly.
yeah, I mean, I got into engineering. It was something that the family was into. My dad, he immigrated from overseas to the U.S., and he started to be an engineer, started his own business after going through a bunch of training and a long life story, and he became a civil engineer. And looking forward to working with him in the family business. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to also follow in his footsteps. But I had to pivot, and I had to do something that I was passionate about, so I ended up making a switch.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Uh, Amazing. Before you continue, I just want to say shout out to Kelly, a good supporter who was on my other show on Sundays. Hi Kelly, she's also in the Phoenix area. Thank you for joining us. It's been a while. And then we also have Manny. Maybe you know this guy. You know him?
Yo, Manny, that's the guy. Yes,
Uh,
sir.
all right, he's joining. He's joining. Awesome. So you talked about your family is an engineer, and then you got into that, and then you went through that, right? So how were you as a kid? Like, were you more of a technical person? Were you more of a math oriented person? How were you as a kid?
I mean, I guess you could say I was an analytical type.
Yeah.
From a young kid, I was always breaking down things and building them back together. Um, I mean, I remember the first time it was in the early 2000s. We had dial-up internet,
Yes.
and at the time, your mom was making an overseas call,
Yeah.
and for you to use the computer, you'd have to disconnect the phone line and then plug in the internet.
Oh, wow. Yes, I remember those days. Yeah, it was amazing. Actually, the internet came out when I was in the seventh grade, which is 1997. So you can see
Woo!
how old I
Yeah,
am.
hey,
So
I'm glad that we have somebody that's witnessed the past and is here in the present.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
So amazing, amazing.
yeah.
Shout
But
out.
I would always take apart computers, take apart toys, break them down, build them together, and just I always like to be very hands on.
Hands on. I see. Okay, from a young
Yeah.
age. So were you like the Legos guy? You had Legos. Uh,
Oh man, I was more like into puzzles and Legos. My brothers would build the Legos, and then I would come in and help out, or just try to get that one piece together that would solve the puzzle or add everything up.
yes, I got you. Oh no, definitely, that's amazing. Shout out to Russ Hedge. He just had a brain surgery. He had a tumor. He's recovering. He was on the show. He does a lot of good with the community. He's in the Salem, Oregon area. Very good guy. And him and another guy do a show. Scott, I believe his name is. They do a live show. So many times throughout the day. So I don't remember the times, but thank you for joining us, Russ. You're recovering and you're joining us. So amazing, amazing. So awesome. So you like to build Lego puzzles, build stuff like that. Set
I
up.
guess I like to build things and just make sure that they're running at optimum efficiency. Started off with building multifamily, senior living data centers for a well-known general contractor,
Uh huh.
and took my talents to real estate investment, and started building a company that's nationwide where we add value to distressed homeowners.
Okay. What got you into that though? I mean, going from engineering and into that because you did work as an engineer for a while, right? So let's talk about
Yeah.
you graduating and then getting into that. So your family business is in engineering. I think your dad is too, and so that's the reason you got into it. And then you studied it. And then how was school for you when you went in that? Was it difficult or tough? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I went to Arizona State University, and I wouldn't say it was difficult. It was more of a challenge to go through the process there, and learn from all the talented professors and engineers there, because it's a top research school in the nation. And I worked as a teacher's assistant for a few of the professors there, and also coaching and mentoring the students during the fall, summer, spring semesters. I think ASU was really good in teaching me the fundamentals of like basic problem solving, deep research, analysis, and learning really how to be more of a professional. And afterwards, after I graduated, I worked with a general contractor, and we started using the engineering skills to um, work on multifamily projects and to design them for state of Arizona and then private builders. So taking all those skills, I really wanted to be a professional. So my dad, he worked for a few companies, before starting his business in the 90s. And he has a really well-known construction company in the Valley where they do commercial construction, grading, concrete, paving, wet utilities. And I wanted to help vertically integrate that business. So I wanted to become a professional and learn what it takes for the systems, the processes, how to be a problem solver and think on a higher level to help him integrate his business vertically, and then to take it from the foundation into ground up construction. So that was the original plan, and it might still be something that we do in the future. As I continue to develop myself and my skills, I'm very passionate about problem solving. So I went from solving problems as an engineer to now solving problems on a higher scale with real estate investing.
Amazing, amazing. What challenges did you have facing when you switched over? Family pressure, or was there any challenges that you faced at that point when you were deciding to go and switch careers?
Absolutely. My parents, they're very traditional and conservative, so they uh, they didn't really want me to leave my career, my degree, which is like a safety net. In the eyes of a traditional conservative family,
Yep.
having a degree is like everything. But it's 2026. A lot of the money is made these days virtually or online,
Yes.
and a lot of what we do here is from the office. Our goal is to do 300 projects per year, and a lot of that we do virtually. We never see the property. If we do, we have a team that goes out. Everything is systemized, where we have contractors, agents, and people on our team, boots on the ground, that help move the needle forward. So we just try to work here in the office as a team and follow systems and processes so that we can continue to grow at a rapid pace.
Amazing. That's amazing. We'll get more into that. I want to say a shout out to Lachelle Atkins, American Supermom, and she has 15 kids, and she was on the show before. She's
Let's
in Atlanta,
go.
Georgia.
15 kids.
Exactly. Five, one
Wow.
five. She's an amazing person. She has a show as well, and she's hosting. So yeah, you have to connect with her. She's an amazing guest, definitely. All the way in the top. So we have everywhere. We have people from Oregon, from Georgia, from Arizona, and then the rest are. That's it so far. But more people will be watching this and the replay as well. So amazing, amazing. So that's awesome. So you have many clients. You're working from home or you're working in an office. All your clients are online. Do you deal with people all over the U.S. or mainly in Arizona?
I mean, we're in about 17 different markets nationwide, and our goal is to improve neighborhoods one house at a time. A lot of the houses that we get are or homeowners. It's really a business less about the house, and it's more about solving people's problems at a high level. We like to say, if you can solve problems, you can get the bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the paycheck. So a lot of people have issues where it's a life situation. So it's less about the home. Some homes are beautiful, some homes are busted and really distressed, but it's more about the situation. In 2022, when I decided to go full time into real estate investing, I wasn't sure what I was going to get into. We had COVID, the markets were changing. Real estate was in a weird place where interest rates kept skyrocketing. We had record lows in COVID where interest rates were at like 1.99%.
Wow.
And then they started shooting up to almost 8%. So
Wow.
it was a lot of instability, but in a lot of uncertainty. But we persevered, and slowly but surely we built a team. And I'm nothing without my team. My team works hard every single day, and I'm there just to mentor them and guide them and continue to bring on A players that help us move the needle forward.
8 people. 8 people work for you. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, we can talk more about that too. How you got your team, who you started, and you can shout them out. And if you have a website, so think of those questions while I say hello to. We have Aya here. I'm sure that's one of your connections.
Shout out to Aya.
All right. And then we have thank you for the shout outs. No problem, Michelle. With 15 kids, we need to shout you out. All right, perfect.
That's a super mom right there, if I know one, man.
That's why she has a Superman behind you there. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So yeah, tell us about your team. So okay, it's you said 2020 is when you started it. You left engineering. Your parents were kind of traditional. And how was that? Like, who did you find? Like, would you say you have a brother? I know. Did you say, hey, can you be my first teammate or team member, coworker, and let's start this together? Tell us that process in 2020 and what made you like, okay, I want to get this team started and how that process worked.
Yeah, so it was around COVID time. I was working as an engineer, and I was actually stationed in Yuma, Arizona, building a Arizona State senior living facility,
Oh
which
wow.
was a 80-bed facility on 10 acres, and it actually consisted of 5 phases. and we had between dorm A to dorm F, and a main building in the middle where there was an actual kitchen. I was in charge of the whole project. So there was a project manager, a superintendent, and then I was the project engineer. And because of COVID and how it happened, my superintendent actually caught COVID.
Oh wow.
So he was off the project for over a month. He was in pretty rough shape. So I had to step in as the acting superintendent. And at that same time, my project manager was in the midst of retiring. So I had a very, like a sponge, every single day show up from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. And like a sponge, I learned how to be a project manager and a superintendent within 2.5 short years. I was doing both acting project manager and acting superintendent. And unfortunately, my superintendent actually got fired for anger management, which is a completely crazy story.
Wow.
He actually told a state supervisor, a state official, one of the top state officials, he used some very poor language, which actually got him removed and dismissed from the company. Um, but I had to step into his role as a superintendent and helping the project manager as well, develop and get this project to the finish line. So during that COVID boom, I also had a lot of downtime, right? So I was as an engineer, but I was also able to study into stocks, finances, real estate, and also crypto, and really hone in on my investment skills. And then shortly afterwards, I decided that I wanted to go all in into real estate because I figured that would be the ultimate vehicle for me to leverage myself and level up into the man that I want to become. I'm far away from my goal, but I feel like the more I could build a team and people to join me and to collaborate, the more I can advance on my mission.
Amazing, amazing. I like that. That's awesome how you took COVID and then you were able to get ideas. And that's how I started with the Zoom Party show and this show as well during that time. It was downtime for everybody. People were wondering. And then now it's in the past, 6 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And we don't even believe COVID happened. And some of us have good memories of it. Some of us have bad memories of COVID. Uh, and uh, and if you're in the audience, tell us what were those memories during COVID. We'd love to hear it. And people like Ahab here and others came up with businesses, and that's a good time to come up with that. And so, who was your first employee that you actually hired, Ahab, at that time?
I think the first employee that I ever hired, was likely a virtual assistant, somebody that I can help delegate certain tasks to. Because
Yeah,
as you level up in business and entrepreneurship, you have to delegate your time and buy back your hour. So certain what we call, typically I have a whiteboard over here when I'm training my team. We go over IPAs. Have you heard of that?
IPAs. Explain that to people.
So IPAs are income producing activities,
Mhm.
right? You as a engineer for what you do, you get paid a certain amount per hour, right?
Yes,
Anything that is worth less than your dollar per hour, you should delegate to somebody,
yes.
right? Like printing papers, right?
Mhm.
Or certain little mundane tasks that you can delegate. So if I have a dollar per hour here, and let's say there's a task I can do like cold calling or sending emails at $3 to $4 an hour, I can delegate that to somebody that's going to handle that, like a virtual assistant,
Yeah,
which you can find on like Upwork or other websites.
yes.
They can do the $3 to $4 an hour task while I can leverage my time as a professional and handle the higher level tasks.
Hmm. That
Does that
makes
make sense?
It does. It does. Yep. And then yeah, that helps. And you can hire somebody who's from a different country with
Yep.
3 to 4 an hour, and then they can do that. Definitely a VA assistant. That's beautiful.
Yep.
So you had a VA assistant in the beginning. That was 2020. And then when did you actually have a human or a person?
Well, she's a human, and shout out to Alex. She's been with me for over 7 years. Um,
Oh,
and shout out to her. She's amazing and wonderful. Wouldn't be anywhere without her. She's actually a Filipino that started with me from the beginning and still with me to this day. So really appreciate her. I want to give her flowers. Um,
amazing.
and slowly but surely I was working a day job as the engineer, and I was taking my entire paycheck as well as my other income from my side businesses and dumping that into real estate,
Okay.
right? So I was literally taking all my cash and my capital and putting it into my business. I went all in on myself. I bet on myself because the number one investment is yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome. And then
So,
she still with
to
you.
answer
And
your question, the first time I hired an in-person team was
yeah.
in 2023. So I opened my first office in downtown Phoenix, and from there I started to bring on talented players that could help us. And I first brought on a disposition manager since we were bringing in a bunch of distressed property and we needed to sell our assets. So we would bring in a disposition manager who can help bring in income to the team.
Got you. Okay, so that was about 3 years ago, so 2.5, 3 years ago, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Amazing. And then you do have so you've been working virtually, but then you do have an office in downtown Phoenix, correct?
correct. Yeah, we're located here in downtown Phoenix on centrally located in Central and Indian School.
Got you. Okay. And so, what was been a challenge from one of your clients as an investor? Or I guess let's start with your first client that you had. Who was he? Or who was she? And tell us about them.
Yeah, so a lot of our clients are homeowners that are looking to sell their property, um, and they have different situations, right? So some people go through a personal situation or a life event that they need to up and move their move, whether they're owning the property or they're inherited something. There's multiple situations that occur. Sometimes people try to sell something on the market and it doesn't work out, maybe because the real estate agent wasn't able to close the deal or the house is in disrepair and it doesn't qualify for a traditional purchase.
Yes.
So sometimes people run into situations where, if you call it, so be you, they walk into our store and we take the order and see if we can fulfill it. If we can make a deal, great. If not, no big deal. We'll try to point them in the right direction. But people go through personal situations, and in real estate, there's twists and turns, and you just have to learn how to navigate the waters, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, definitely. I mean, it can be fun. It can be challenging because you're actually helping people, but then they come into your place. You call it a store. I don't know if it's a store, but they come in there and then they need your assistance on that. And so it's very amazing. Can you don't have to name the person, but can you name the situation of something that went odd or something that didn't go as expected with one of your members or one of your I guess customers?
So there was a deal we are doing, and believe it or not, this happens every so often, where somebody will approach us to purchase their real estate asset or their house or property or land or acreage, and they will let us know, hey, I inherited this from my family. I'm the executor of the estate, and when we begin to go and do our due diligence, they have like seven different heirs. An heir is like a brother, a sister, or somebody that has ownership interest in the property.
Yeah.
And when we start our due diligence, there's a reason why we need a due diligence period, Omar, because
Yes.
some people will tell you, this, they'll give you the perfect picture that, oh yeah, this is my property. I'm allowed to sell it. My parents gave it to me. There's a will.
Yeah.
And then when it gets down to the nitty gritty, they actually have like seven people involved and
Yeah.
they don't have permission from the other people to sell it.
Yeah.
You call them up and they give you the contact information and they say, oh well, he's not allowed to sell the property, we're actually keeping it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important that you get a due diligence period, to make sure that if there is a probate or an heirship that needs to be done, that all decision makers are on the same page of moving forward.
Mm. Oh no, absolutely. That's important. That somebody has seven siblings or seven people involved, like you
Yeah.
said, and they're not all involved in the situation and they don't know what's going on. They all have to be. That's amazing. Now, let's say somebody tuned in right now. We have the wonderful Ahab here in Arizona, and he's an investor. He went from engineering, which I don't know why he switched over, which is that's a different show on that end. But it's amazing, a lot of engineers go into different businesses on the side. But let's say somebody switched in and say, what is an investor? I mean, I've seen it around. What is a real estate investor? What is your definition from you studying and what that is, what is it, Ahab?
An investor. I think that's a great question. I think an investor is somebody that sees value in something and wants to either hold on to it for a short term and or a long term. There's different ways of actually operating in this business. There's if we're looking at it, there's short term investment, there's long term gains. It really depends on which route you want to go and the risk that you want to take and the exposure that you want to be open to.
Hmm. Amazing, amazing. No, that's great, definitely. Where do you see yourself? Any other projects in the future that you're gonna maybe change or do something different? Anything in the future plans that you're thinking of?
Yeah, primarily right now we're operating in the single family space, but we do see ourselves growing and operating in the multifamily sector, which means we're going to start to acquire parcels of land that are zoned for multifamily development, and then we're going to start to build affordable housing, townhomes, apartments, condos that can qualify for certain projects and grants that the government can fund you on. There's a certain sector in real estate which is like an opportunity zone. Shout out to Doha. That's my cousin right there. Appreciate you.
Welcome,
And
welcome. Thank you for joining us.
congrats
And then,
on your
guys,
recent marriage too.
oh, awesome! Congrats, and guys, if you guys are watching, make sure to subscribe all the great shows. And because here is the channel, you can do it here, live Omar two, or you can do we really know them, and so you can connect and watch all these shows, and then continue. Have I'm so sorry.
Oh no, absolutely, man. Yeah, shout out to your page and looking forward to seeing what the rest of 2026 has in store for you. We're looking to grow and scale. So since I left the engineering space, we've scaled and closed hundreds of deals, built a team, and now we operate with systems across acquisitions, dispositions, renovation projects, and developments. So far to date, we've closed over 500 deals and we're looking to continue to build up on our skills and the mindset that helps us solve big problems. Going from an engineer and having that analytical mindset, it taught me how to solve technical problems, and real estate taught me how to solve people problems. So I'm taking the best of both worlds, and I'm looking to continue to build on that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Have you, in your experience, seen a lot of people switch over from engineering into business and this kind of business in your career? I mean, it's a 6 years or so. What have you seen?
I've definitely seen a handful of engineers and people that operate in high level problem, like analytical people, start businesses or go into entrepreneurship. Um, and they've been very successful. They can take the skills that they learned and add those into creating businesses that solve problems for people.
That's amazing. How important do you think, as a general question, that people should go into business or a dream they have, like you did, for example, right? You did engineering. You kind of followed what your parents were doing, and you're good in math and science. And then how you went into business? How important is that? Because maybe somebody's watching this and says, "I have an idea, but I don't know if I should get into that." Like, what would you say to them?
I would tell them that follow your passions, follow your dreams. If you have it in you and you believe you can be successful, go for it. Have a proven method or a model that you can follow, and when you're ready, you got to burn all the ships and go all in on yourself and your mission and your vision. Now, the caveat to that, Omar, is that not everybody could be an entrepreneur. It's not meant for everybody.
Yes.
Being an entrepreneur means sleepless nights, long hours, 18, 20-hour days. Sometimes you don't get to see family. Sometimes you don't get to see friends. So sometimes it's better for high level players to join a team and to build a company by being what's called a intrapreneur. Have you heard of an intrapreneur
I
before?
have. I have. Yes.
Yeah. Like for example, there's the Apple company, Steve Jobs and Steve Ballmer. Steve Jobs was the entrepreneur, the CEO, the face. Now on the back end, you have Steve Ballmer, who was the analytical type, the builder, the guy that built it all. And I could be confusing Apple and Microsoft, but there's also Bill Gates and then his counterpart. Bill Gates is the face. Well, there was an entrepreneur that's just as wealthy, if not more wealthy, than Bill Gates after his separation with his wife. But there was another player that it was an entrepreneur. He a high level player that was building the business on the inside and got rewarded graciously for it. So there's many routes you can take. But to summarize, entrepreneurship isn't for everybody. But if you're willing to make the sacrifice and you have thick skin, grit, you're hardworking, and you're disciplined, you will be successful.
Amazing, amazing. I like that, Ahab. Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's not for everybody, and you have to be disciplined to do it because business isn't easy. And then you're proving it right now, right? After coming in, you're proving it to your family, you're proving it to your friends that I can do this. I know in the beginning, when you get an idea, people are skeptical about you. You're like, would this work? What is he doing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even for me, when I'm doing this and that kind of thing. And so I appreciate you giving that. I want to say shout out to William or Bill here. He was on my Zoom party. He does a live show, UBU Live. Very interesting character and wonderful person in connection. Watch him, see what he does. His shows are mainly on YouTube and LinkedIn. And he talks about politics sometimes, about different things. And so uh, make sure to watch what he does. I'm a supporter of him and I see what he does. And he won the Zoom party, the quiz show that we did a
Let's
couple of
go.
he was a winner. So amazing guy, amazing guy. Okay, here is the shell coming with another comment here. Love that you are sharing real facts behind the highlights reels of success. All right, yeah, exactly. What are your comments on that? There.
I think real estate is not just about houses, Omar. I think it's about people. I think it's about timing, adding value, trust, and being able to solve real problems.
Yeah.
Because the best deals, they're not found. They're they are discovered through conversations, consistency, follow up, and even structure.
Yes. True. Exactly true.
So as far as for what we do on a daily basis, you have to learn emotional control, discipline, sales, and leadership. You have to stop thinking like a technician and start thinking like an operator. How can you add value to more than just one person? It's by impacting an entire industry. So the biggest transition wasn't from engineering to real estate. It was from doing the work myself and building a machine and growing and investing in people in a team that could do everything without depending on me.
Mhm. Exactly, exactly. That's the thing. Yeah, being a leader or being like a CEO, I guess
Yeah.
they need to depend on you on that. So that
And
that's
I just went live on Instagram, so
now. Yeah.
if you don't mind, I can shout out to the people that are just growing and joining.
Yes.
Mohammed, shout out to you, and shout out to the other viewers that are coming through on the live stream on Instagram.
Oh, great. For some reason it's not showing it on my end here, but I do show you live there. Yeah, if they want to comment, great. Because I'm looking on yours, I don't see you. But connect with him. It's Ahab. Like you have his name there. I'll show his name in a second here, right there. So just put his name there on Instagram. You can connect with him, and you can see all the stuff. So we can talk about it in a second. I just want to do a shout out for these people. We have about 20 minutes to go. We have here Kenny. He's known as, so if you're on the LinkedIn, we have all these community people. He's known as the savor the flavor person, and so he thought all these comments and all that. He's in Texas, just southwest of Houston. Okay, so thank you
Let's
for joining
go.
us.
Hey,
So we have all
Kenneth,
these.
I got a deal for you in Sugarland. If you're looking, I got a hot one right now.
All right, all right. Kenneth, connect with Ahab here. He can help you out. He can get it. He's a good guy, and I've known
Yeah,
Ahab for
definitely.
quite some time now. Family friend, we would say, and so he's a good person and a good family, basically, and his whole family is pretty good. I know about it. So if you deal with him, you're dealing with a good guy. If you're dealing with me and dealing with him, you're dealing with the same person, basically.
Let's go.
So
Yeah,
let's go here.
what we do is we source, institutional quality assets at a discounted price. So when people think real estate, single family, they're thinking of me, they're thinking of my team, and us getting them properties 60% off market value. So for example, we can acquire 500K homes for 280, 320K that we present those to investors who they take on. They either live in them, or they renovate them and fix and flip them, or they keep them as rental properties. So there's a lot of value that we're adding to the community, and community is one of the most important things because number one, you're adding value to the people that you know, but also you're building community with people that you don't know. You know, the internet. And as a kid, people used to tell you, don't talk to strangers. But every day you're on the internet, you're talking to a new stranger or watching a new video out of a stranger. So to tap that in, you make money by solving problems. So a good deal usually has a problem attached to it. There's distress, a timeline, condition, equity, a family situation, and sometimes there's even deferred maintenance. And our job is not to pressure people; it's to understand the problem and see if we can create a clean solution.
Amazing, amazing. And with that, actually, I did see you on Instagram right now. I did see the people, but somehow the comments from Instagram are not coming up here. Maybe a settings thing here, but it's good that it's working now. So, amazing, amazing. And so Lachelle actually agrees here with a comment. I agree, and the building of relationships and patience for the right times for a deal. Right, exactly. That's important. So
Yep.
let's play like a role here for a little bit here, something
Sure.
different. Let's pretend I'm the customer coming in, and
Okay.
so how do they reach you? Do they call in and let's say, "Oh, Ahab, I have a house here, and I want to do something with it." So, well, how does it go that way? Like, how do they reach you on social media, and then what do you start? How do you start the conversation?
Yeah, so we actually, I invest a ton into mentorship and training. As much as I say I'm nothing without my team, I'm also uh, nothing without continuing to invest in myself and continuing to learn and develop my skills. These days, we do what's inbound marketing instead of disruptive outbound marketing. Outbound marketing is like SMS, cold calling, things like that, versus we do a lot of inbound marketing, which is a stronger motivator, a stronger lead, and a faster cash conversion cycle. So we focus on inbound opportunities where people, they come and find us these days. They're reaching out to us, asking for us to present them an offer on their property, and we just take them through a traditional process, no pressure. We let them know, we gather all the information, see if it's the right fit, and if we present them an offer and it works, great. If not, no big deal. At least we gave it our best shot, and they know what their options look like.
With that, you actually have a comment here. I worked with Ahab, and he's the best guy ever. I wish you very good luck, brother. All right, awesome, awesome.
Uh,
We have here somebody who's a supporter.
Appreciate that comment, and looking forward to talking to you in the future.
Amazing, amazing, awesome. And if there's any more comments in Instagram, you can see there. When I turn it on my end, it is there's a double echo there. So if you hear something there or you see something on Instagram, let me know so we can shout them out. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
sounds good. Yeah,
Awesome.
appreciate that.
Awesome. So yeah, so that was good there. So we're almost out of time. We have about 10, 15 minutes here. What was the last thing? So you were talking about, okay, about the customer and how you would actually get him started and that kind of thing. Yeah. Is there a person who gave you like a good and excellent review, and they really enjoyed your talk and what you did, or you have the way you helped them, not to talk, but the way you helped them out in the investment, and then they came back later and they said, tell us about that situation if you want to shout their name out and how it went. Are they like, did they come back 6 months later or say, oh wow, and then they refer somebody? Let's talk about that person if you.
Yeah, there was a particular situation that I can think of. I mean, there's been plenty of situations where we have repeat customers. This type of business, sometimes homeowners only have one house, and typically a house is somebody's biggest investment. So they're looking usually to sell the house to either downsize or upsize or make a life change due to a life event. There was a client that we had. His name was actually Dr. Bruce, and we bought his property in Atlanta, Georgia, and we took care of him, ensured that he had a 5-star experience where we delivered the results on a silver platter. And then 2 years later, we get a phone call from Dr. Bruce again saying, hey, I want to sell you my other property. You guys took care of me on the first one. I saved your guys' number. I put it down, put it in my drawer, and I'm now ready to retire, and I'm ready to sell my next property. So we took an offer on that one, made it work, and closed the deal. And that's what we do. We enter into agreements and we deliver the results on a silver platter, and we make it easy and hassle free. So our job is to deliver results and make sure that we streamline success.
Amazing. You said Dr. Bruce. What's his name? Doctor. What was the name of the guy?
Dr. Bruce, yeah.
Dr. Bruce. I remember. Awesome, awesome. I'm usually bad with that, but so amazing. And where was he located? Was he in Arizona area or
He's located in Atlanta, Georgia,
in
actually.
Georgia? In Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You deal with all 50 states usually with the.
Not every state is a good state. So, quick tip for everybody there in the audience, and shout out to Naveen, my mom. She's over here on Instagram, so appreciate you.
Yes,
Um,
amazing.
so, most states are decent for investing, but if you really want to maximize, you need to focus on investor-friendly markets.
Hmm.
So there's about 34 markets that are really good that you can look into. I don't think we have time to go deep dive in and find them right now, but if you're interested in learning more, just send me a DM, and I'm an open book. I'd love to help. But primarily, you want to look into red, Republican, conservative type of states, and you want to look into also properties in states in the Sun Belt region. There's a lot of opportunity in that region.
Sunbelt. Now, Sunbelt meaning which area is that? Is that like the Midwest? Is that what?
So the Sun Belt region is actually somewhat of the southeast coast of the U.S.
That's right. That's right. Like Texas, all these places there, Arkansas, right?
Kind of from the Carolinas and working your way all the way down to Texas.
Got you. Got you. Amazing. That's an amazing one. Awesome. Awesome. All right. We're about to, so do you have a like how do you advertise? Mainly on social media, right? That's how you advertise?
So actually, social media is something new that we're diving into. Excuse me.
Mhm.
A lot of the advertising we do these days is more formal, and people come and find us. So in the past, we used to do disruptive marketing, in outbound marketing, and we transitioned into an inbound model, which helps us reach a higher quality clientele. So we advertise online and also direct to the seller. And then they reach out to us when they're ready for our services.
Awesome, awesome. And I think your mom put another comment here. Best of luck to Spark Capital. So let's talk about that. So you're actually the company. We never really talked about that. Spark Capital, which is behind you there. Do you have a website for that as well, or you're thinking of creating one?
Yeah, you could check us out online, www.sparkcapitalusa.com.
Okay.
You
Go
know,
ahead, Ahab. Put it in the private chat, and I'll show it to them. I'll share it. Put it in the
I
private
got
chat.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So put it there.
absolutely.
So you have the website. That's good. It is sparkcapital.com. You said right? Okay.
Sparkcapitalusa.com.
USA. Okay. And I'll put it.
Shout out to Senna. Appreciate you for the comment.
Okay. So it's a very generic website here. I'm gonna go ahead and just show them. It's here, and not really much on there, but that's good. Nice there. So let me just share the screen.
It could use some work.
Yeah, I mean it's good there. So basically, sell your home, and I'm gonna just share the screen here and show them. Let's see. There we go. Okay, let me know when you can see it. So hopefully it doesn't freeze up. Sometimes that happens. Okay. Can you? Okay. Okay. Let me try one more time. I think it stopped for a second. There we go. And share. Okay. There we go. Okay. Perfect. No, nice and generic. I like it. About and then all these FAQs and testimonials and stuff like that. People can fill out the same. And yeah. And then, do you have any pictures about you guys as well in here?
I'm sure it could use a revamp. It's probably about time that we put a photo of our team and projects that we've worked on. So we're going to have to get with our developer on the back end for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, but it's pretty good here, and appreciate you sharing that with us. And people can come into that website there. There it is at the bottom, and you get a hold of. And then you have a team who actually answers, right? with that
Yeah,
number?
absolutely. Yeah. A lead comes in and a homeowner wants to move forward. Definitely speed is everything because we have a saying here where speed to lead and same day offers they were a game changer for us. So the person who solves the seller's problem the fastest and the most professionally wins. And also having a targeted buy box. So you need to have a buy box where you are focusing on homeowners in major cities, suburbs, people with equity, clear comps, real motivation, short timelines, and a problem that we can solve. We tend to avoid rural areas and properties that are hard to comp and sellers that just want a retail price, because it does allow us to add the most value. We focus on distressed assets and people that want top dollar or don't have any distress aren't the right fit for us. So our team, when a lead comes in, their job is to get to that inbound lead within the first 30 seconds and ultimately make contact within the first 5 minutes. So we follow a strict SOP and making sure that we are reaching these people on the same day and being able to service them and see if we can even make a deal happen, because not every lead is a great deal or an opportunity, but it's definitely worth a shot.
Amazing, amazing. All right, we're almost about to close the show here. Shout out to Chris for joining us right now.
Awesome.
Thank you, Chris. I've seen him around on LinkedIn. I'm not sure what area he's in. By the way, Bill's in Florida. So we have Florida, we have Georgia, we have
Let's go.
Texas. We just need a couple of people from New Mexico so we can connect them, and then California, so we can go up to Salem, and then Washington, and up there, and then maybe the entire world later on. But a few people there. Please tell us, Chris, that you're in New Mexico, but I think he's not. So
You also got some people, don't forget, from Jordan and from Palestine. You
okay,
also got some people from all over the nation.
amazing. So they're joining us from overseas as well. Amazing. That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you're worldwide, man.
That's great. Yeah, it is. It is. We're getting there. Just a couple of Chinese and Indians, and we'll be there.
Let's
Okay.
go.
All
Yeah,
right. That's great because this is all about the channel is about international. Everybody around the world is on this. I've had people from anywhere from around the world because we're a community, and that's what the last segment of this show is going to be about: the importance of community and how important that is. So Ahab, how important is community to you, and the importance of getting together with different people and different cultures, and you said your Palestinian background. That's very important. And so, tell us a little bit about the importance of community.
oh, community is huge. Just as I'm not much without my team, you also need to be a part of a community, whether it's locally or in a online space that you can add value to. You need a strong network of people that you can trust and rely on. And shout out to Tay. He just commented, and I really appreciate your comment. Uh, Great friend of mine since we've been, in our diapers. Um, so God bless you, and appreciate everything that you do, man.
That was about like 10 years ago, right? Wasn't that long. About,
I don't know, man. I'm 31 years old, so uh, been around the globe a few times.
we're all getting up there. By the way, Chris is in Jersey, so we got New Jersey up there, northeast. We got the south east, and we got all of it. All the corners are covered, so amazing.
So
Um,
shout out to the USA, man.
amazing, amazing.
But just to
Indeed.
touch base on what you were asking,
Yeah.
community is huge. You need a strong network of people you can trust and rely on, and you need to give back to the community because the community is what props you up and supports you in your time of need. And you also need to give back to them so that they can continue to grow and reinvest into the future. There's a lot of youth coming up that we have to teach. And my friend here, he likes to say, each one teach one. And I think what he means by that is if I know something and I can share that knowledge with somebody, then they can use that and share that with somebody else. And they could also piggyback off that and teach me something, and I can learn from that as well.
No, absolutely. That's brilliant. That's beautiful. There, that's amazing. And if I would invent an item, or these are all the Instagram stuff. If I would invent an item to have humanity, or invent something, what would that be? And I do another show on Sundays at noon Eastern, and I've asked all of them. I'm about to reach my 100 episodes, but anyway, tell us. So basically, what I'm saying is about 80 plus people said the same question. what would you do to invent an item or an idea to help humanity that hasn't been invented or has been invented, and you want to improve on it?
Mm. Invent an item to help humanity and improve on it. I think you would have to invent something that impacted not just thousands or millions of lives, but billions of lives and have a real global, long-standing impact.
Oh
Um,
yes.
I think if there was a way to solve the world's problem, somehow, some way, we'd want to see peace in the Middle East, um, and there's ways to do that. But I think each person's got to just sit
I
down.
think
You would have to invent something that
Yep. I'm showing you the
impacted not
Instagram
just
here.
thousands or millions of
It's
lives,
just
but
doubling in.
billions of
Yep. Yep.
lives and have a real
Okay. Go ahead.
global,
Yeah. Go ahead.
long-standing
Continue. Sorry.
impact.
That was it.
Um,
Okay.
I
Okay.
think if there
We're
was a
about to
way
end
to
here.
solve
So these are the other people
the
here. We
world's
have
problem,
next week,
somehow, some
and there's some
way,
other people. I was
we'd
just
want
showing
to
you some
see
of the comments because they didn't show
peace in
up
the
in the
Middle
stream for
East.
some reason,
Um,
and we'll
and
get that
there's
later.
ways
the
to do that.
Instagram is playing
But I
on
think each
the live
person's
show.
got to just
Yes.
sit
Yes.
down.
Amazing.
You'd
Amazing.
have to
Maybe
invent
with that we can
something
get some
that
more views. I'm showing
impacted
that.
not
We'll
just
see.
thousands or
So,
millions of
Lives, just
lives,
doubling
but
in.
perfect. So,
billions of
yeah, thank you
lives
so
and
much for
have
being
a
on the
real
program. Go ahead.
global,
Yeah,
long-standing
your
impact.
thoughts. And I appreciate you telling us. So you went from engineering to real estate, and watched the whole episode. And your closing thoughts. I appreciate you being on this. This is a summer series event that we're doing. You're the second guest, and then we have another one booked for end of the month. Just to keep it more business on this kind of thing. So your closing thoughts you have. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate that, and yeah, definitely. You're saying that for a closing statement. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly.
I definitely appreciate you bringing me on the show, Omar. It's definitely been an opportunity, and very thankful for you extending the invitation. Shout out to Omar, everybody in the comments or watching this video now or after it's posted after the live. Give Omar a follow. He's an amazing guy, great personality, game show host, and also running these streams. Closing summary, we've been blessed and thankful to be able to have impacted hundreds of homeowners' lives and be able to add value to the community and to my people, to my team. We've scaled this business and we're looking to continuously scale. We're looking to recruit top talent, people that are like-minded, that align with our core values and want to build and grow with our culture. So thank you so much for having me on the show. Really appreciate you, Omar. And yeah, I hope you have a blessed July and God willing, a beautiful future in the future, man.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, thank you, Ahab. And so I put something there in the top. It's a donate button. If you guys like to support, it's a buy me coffee kind of thing. Just do the QR code there, and $1 is even good. Whatever you want to donate, that would be great. Because we can bring more people and more stuff like that. Someone just scanned it. Oh no, it works. It works.
Let's
I'm
go.
testing it. It works. Okay. So it's good, So we need that community. So I appreciate you
Support the
having me.
show. Buy this man a coffee.
Yes, yes. I need coffee. I need coffee so I can stay up and do more shows. More shows.
I'm
Maybe
telling
over
you
the
about it,
midnight
man.
later on. So thank you to your guests as well and your followers who are on there on Instagram. Follow Ihab. Google his website and connect with him. You're on as well as LinkedIn, but not as much. You're going to get on there and many other social media.
You put me on LinkedIn, man. I gotta get
Yeah.
into LinkedIn and
Yes.
start to network and connect with like-minded people.
Yes, that's where the business are. Those are
Yeah.
the right people there, and then you can bring in, and maybe we can create a new show for you. That would be great, and then I can give you a promo code to start there. So I appreciate you. Stick with me for a second there while I put you in the back room and say my goodbyes. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna just put you in the green room. Okay? Thank you. Oh wow, amazing, amazing. That was Ahab Najem from Arizona, from engineering to investor. Interesting story of how we got into that. Watched the whole video, and I appreciate you guys being here on the program and watching and commenting more than I expected to have. I guess you like our guest here, Ahab. He's wonderful. You're here for him, really. That's the reason you're watching. And I appreciate you guys. I will be back with more episodes later on. Like I said, there's another show at the end of July. Two couples who created a business. And so once that comes in, you'll find out. I'm not going to tell you who it is until the advertisement. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much, everybody. And Goodbye. Here is William with saying my name, or like he's like I'm a soccer ball or something. And every time I talk to you, you talk too much to Chris. And all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream in three,